and I can always share the recorded Zoom. So,
Hi guys, good evening. Thank you for joining us. I am Dr. Catherine Espana. I am a pediatrician in Houston. And today I have invited you guys to talk about something that's really interesting me. There is a company called LIfewave. I'm not sure if you've heard about it, but essentially is a company that has these non-transdermal patches. So there's no medicine in them. It actually uses phototherapy and energy and stem cells to help regenerate your body and any kind of condition that might be going on in there. So a little bit about me, like I said, I'm a pediatrician. I have been working, I have my own practice. I also have a med spa, and my friend Jess Nady, who you're going to meet in a little bit, talked to me about 5 months ago about this company and this patches that, were starting to make her and her mother-in-law feel great, have more energy, sleep a little bit better. And I'll be honest, I was very skeptical. I thought this just can't be right. I mean, this patch that you put on and the little bit that I read about it originally, it just didn't really make sense to me. But then eventually she called me back and I said, why not send me some of these patches for me to try? So I tried it for 3 days, and I can tell you that I slept very, very well those 3 days, and absolutely I had more energy. And what I noticed the most was my brain fog. I mean, I'm 45 and I feel like sometimes I'm on a dream and I just tend to forget things, and I seem to be way more focused during the day. Not to mention that I sometimes have, back problems, and I don't know whether it was the sleeping better or if it was absolutely the patch, but I can tell you I'm super relaxed and my back just does not ache anymore like it usually does. So trying the product made me a believer, and I decided to research more about what really it was. Although it seemed like voodoo medicine to me, and that's what I told her. I was like, let me really look into it. And in the last week and a half, I have read quite a few clinical trials and things that are on the company's website to try to really figure out what is the science of this, magical patch per se. And so it all starts with peptides. And so I tell people that you got to learn what is a peptide. A peptide is an amino acid that's actually the building block of the proteins that cause our body to work. If you think about it, our body is just one piece of chemistry. We are just one big chemistry lab, essentially. And what you put into it and what you don't put into it, makes it either be in balance or be out of balance and out of whack. And so I think it's really interesting that if you look at Chinese medicine, what Chinese medicine believes is that it's all about energy and our body's energy. You either have too much energy or too little energy. And again, we have to be in balance to make sure that we are not having diseases and pain and other things in there. So that really kind of, tickled my attention there because, as a pediatrician and also obviously Western medicine, the older I get, the more interested I am in just natural medicine and what other countries believe in and how you can incorporate that and also into the medicine I practice every single day here in the United States. So the fact that it was using energy and phototherapy, and I'll tell you a little bit more about how that works, and then stem cells really, really caught my attention. So peptides, like I said, we need them for our bodies to work, and it has been proven in the literature that they actually help with a lot of regenerative medicine. And so there's actually people, it is not approved in the United States, I believe, but I have actually a couple of patients that told me that they have been using peptides. They have been injecting themselves with peptides that they have bought in Germany, because you have to actually inject yourself with a peptide. You can just take a peptide because your stomach acid is going to degrade it and it's not going to work. So that one of the very first peptides that was discovered that people start using is insulin. So everyone's heard of insulin. Insulin is a peptide that you have to inject it in order for it to do its job, which is to help the pancreas. If you're not producing enough insulin, then you need to inject yourself with it. And so this is kind of where, it comes from, that peptides help us sort of make our bodies work a little bit better if we're having issues in certain areas. And so then the owner of the company and the inventor, what he decided and what he came up with was, how can I do a way to sort of create that you can have of these peptides in your body without actually having to inject them? And that's where he came up with this patch. And it's a phototherapy patch that actually uses your own energy. So we as humans actually we make infrared energy. And that's why sometimes maybe in a movie or things like that, you might see that if it's super dark and you flash a certain kind of light, you see this like red thing moving here and there. That is our energy, that it's our human body emitting this energy. So that energy actually activates this little round patch, and I can show you, I have it right here on my back, and that's one of the places where they recommend that you wear it because those are the acupressure points. So again, we're using phototherapy, energy, and acupuncture points. All of like what Chinese medicine and, you know, certain cultures have been doing for years. So the idea is that your own energy activates this patch. Secondarily, the patch changes the frequency, the wavelength of that energy. So it's able to go back into your body, and that frequency changes and makes cellular changes. So it changes at the cell level to create more of this specific peptide called GHK copper. And that peptide is known to help activate some maybe dormant stem cells that we have had. And so that's how this patch, that again, it sounds crazy science, but it really makes sense when you think about it. And the way that I thought about it was, okay, phototherapy has been around for years. Phototherapy is actually how I treat babies when they have jaundice. So when babies have jaundice, I put them under a UV light. And literally, that's the treatment. The UV light then penetrates their skin. And then again, that wavelength changes the energy, and it changes at the cellular level. So babies can actually excrete the bilirubin, and then they're not jaundiced anymore, and it cures them. Same thing as when you go out in the sun and you just sit there in the sun, and actually the sunlight and the UV lights will penetrate your skin and cause you to produce vitamin D. And that's how the best way how you get vitamin D into your body. And then most recently, people have been using red light therapy, not infrared, sorry, red light therapy for depression, red light therapy for pain and joint pain. So when you go to pain doctors and physical therapists, they actually have been using light as well to treat certain things. So this is not something crazy new that this guy invented. He just sort of put it together and said, what is the best way? And through this patch that has no medicine, it's just sort of a crystal that reflects your energy, and your light changes the wavelength to create different things in your body. I can tell you what I have felt. I told you I slept better, had more energy, and had more focus, and definitely helped with my back pain. I've heard all kinds of stories of people in the week and a half I've been doing this, because I'm fairly new to this, people saying that it has helped them with Crohn's disease after wearing it for about 6 to 8 months. It actually decreases the inflammation, and many other diseases that have to do mainly with, you know, immunology and inflammation, as well as some mental illness diseases too. I have not seen it with my own eyes, and I don't know, most of you, if you don't know me, you know that I'm pretty skeptical, and I kind of want to see it myself or know someone, because it's a lot easier for me to believe it than to just hear about a random stranger on the street that it supposedly is at this. But the clinical trials do say that when you take the blood off of patients that have worn this for 7 weeks, they see that you have an increment, an increase in this peptide, and also certain amino acids that help your brain. So it makes sense that this absolutely could do what all these people say it's doing. So that's why I jumped in. And then secondarily, it's always very smart to diversify, just like you diversify your portfolio. If you are, you know, in the stock market, it's very important to diversify your life, period. So you're not putting all your eggs in the same basket. And I'm not living only off of my pediatric practice, which is why I also have a medical spa. And then I've decided this was just a smart way to help other people, help myself and my family. And then why not? You can also do this as a business, and it can be a pretty lucrative business as well, depending on what you want to do with it. So that's why I want to invite to then my friend Jasneti, who I adore. She is a lawyer who lives in Florida. I've known her for a few years now, and she's going to talk to you guys about what made her what triggered her an interest in doing this as a business specifically.
Hi, my name is Jasneti Ortiz, and like Catherine said, I'm a lawyer, and I got interested in this company because I have been seeing since some time ago that people are moving to a healthier life, like more organic, and they're moving to have more holistic treatments with their health. And when I saw this patch, it doesn't have any chemicals. So I said, I think this can be, if this is true, this is gonna be something really good. And someone said, these have more than 180 patents, I can say, right? Patents. And for a company to have a patent, they have to prove two things: that the product does what the company said it does, and the other thing is that anyone else have that science or have the same, and this company has it. So this company, it's a young company, not a new company. It's been for 19 years in the market, and at the beginning the company only had an income of only 20 millions, about 20 millions per year. But since 3 years ago, this company start doing more income with this, since they create this patch, the X39. And last year, 2023, this company had income about $460 million in sales. So that is something that makes me think, wow, so people are moving to use this. A lot of people are using this, and obviously this has to work. This company is in more than 80 countries right now, so the business opportunity is huge. I'm an entrepreneur. I love to find good opportunities. Obviously, we all want to grow, and the thing that is in more than 80 countries gives me the opportunity to have a branch practically in every single country that this company is. In 2020, another thing that I like of the company is that in 2023, LIfewave was ranking a triple A plus by the Business from Home. Only 5% of the companies have this kind of ranking, and this is why LIfewave is recommended like an excellent business opportunity in 2023 and 2024. This is only a patch that you wear for 12 hours, and then the other 12 hours you don't have the patch, so your body don't get used to the patch and keep working. You don't need to have inventory in this company. This is a unique product. That is something that for me it was very important. That many companies are like in the same market, but this is something unique, so the opportunity is bigger. And it has the patent. It has it for 20 years. So we're going to be this company, it's going to be the only company that has this kind of technology, this kind of science. Now the company, you can be a client, or you can be a distributor, and you can take advantage of the business opportunity just by recommending a product. Catherine told you that at the beginning, I start buying the patches for my mother-in-law. And yes, she has seen, and she called me and she said, what is this? Because I feel with more energy. My mother-in-law, she has a lot of health conditions, and she barely walks. And she said, I have more energy. Even I go for a walk with the nurse, and I feel less depressed. So that's the first signs that she felt, and it was almost instantly, immediately in the first week. So that's why I said, I have been seeing and follow this product, and I can say that at least I feel more energy. I feel I have more a better sleep, but I don't have a medical condition. So thankfully, but I can see it in the people that it's around me. So if you have any questions, if you want to take advantage of this business opportunity, we're here to answer any question.
Does anybody have any questions regarding just the product, of how it works, the little bit that I kind of told you guys about, or anything specifically about the business aspect that Jasneti shared with you guys? You can put it in the chat. You don't have to talk to us. I know. Well, I want to thank you guys, if there's no immediate questions, for joining us tonight. I definitely recommend that you talk to the person that invited you to this call. If they invited you, it was for a reason. I definitely think, like Jasneti says, it's a great opportunity. It's a good innovation. It is the way I think that science is going. People are more and more likely to try to get healed a little bit more the natural way and not with a lot of pharmaceuticals. And even if it does 5% of the things that they say it does, I feel like it's absolutely worth, giving it a try for yourself. So again, thank you so much for those that joined us. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And I hope you guys have a good evening, and look up about LIfewave. There is, Javier has a question, actually. How are we able to get started with the business opportunity? So there is, we were not going to include that in here unless somebody asked for time-wise, especially because we started late. But how you can do it is essentially there's different packages per se to come in as a distributor. And so there is a silver package that is $299, and it gives you 3 sleeves. Each sleeve has 30 patches in it, so a month's supply. So you have some for yourself, for your wife, for your husband, significant other, of your family members, or to share with others. There's a gold package that is $500, and it gives you 5 sleeves. And then there's a diamond package that's $1,500, and you get the best bang for your buck per se. And then with that one, depending on which package you come into, there's different perks as well, as far as bonuses and things like that once you start the business. So if you're interested in that, talk to the person that brought you in. We can definitely do like a one-to-one call to answer even more in detailed questions about that. But it's fairly simple to join and to start to be able to use them yourself, as well as sharing with others. Something else that we forgot to mention is that as customers, all customers have 90 days guarantee. So any customer can buy something, and if in 90 days they're like, this didn't work, I didn't like them, no questions asked, they will refund their money. As a distributor, you have a month. And it's because, you have a lot of other patches, and if after a month you're like, this wasn't for me, this business wasn't good, you can keep that one patch or that one box that you were using for yourself. And if you return all the other ones, they will give you 100% of your money back. So there really is no risk involved to just go ahead and sort of try it. JP says he has a question. What's your question?
Hi, good evening. It's Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, I do have a question in regards to the patch. Can any person with any condition use this patch?
Yeah, there's really no contraindications. The more that I've looked into it, it has been people, or the stories that I hear is people that have mental illness, people that have neuropathy, people that have pain, and people that have inflammation. So any kind of inflammatory diseases or immunological diseases are really seeing a lot of quicker improvement. What they say is ideally to see really long-term improvement. Most of the studies, or what they recommend, is that you wear the patch at least 1 month for every decade. So if you're 20 years old, you should wear it at least for 2 months. If you're 30, for 3 months. Although people have been wearing it for years, also as a preventive measure. But there's no real contraindications because there's no medicine that's going into your body per se. So the more that I've read into it, I have not found anything. They do talk about children. Some children with autism or some children with mental illness have seen some definitely improvement. Again, I've not seen it as a physician, but I can tell you that this is what some people talk about. It's all anecdotal. When you think about children, though, children have a lot of stem cells yet. So we lose about half of our stem cells by the age of 25. And by the age of 60, we have about a fourth that are active. Ideally, children should have lots of stem cells that are just going to activate and go help whatever. But there's also a lot of toxicity. And there are some people that believe that maybe, certain mental illness might have to do with certain toxins. And these patches also, some of them help to take some of those toxins away from your body. So maybe that's the theory of why it might help some children. But in general, there's no major contraindications for it.
Okay, thank you. And how do we know which patch each person should use according to their condition or what they're feeling at the moment?
Right. So the main patch is the one we talked about today, which is the X39. So I would say that everybody should sort of start with that one and should really just start sort of simple, at least. That one in particular, like I said, it activates your stem cells. It really helps with more energy, and it's more of like your regenerative patch. Some of the studies have shown that it actually regenerates your cardiovascular system. It makes you create more collagen, which not only makes us look beautiful, but there's also collagen in your endothelial walls, which is like your blood vessels. And so people that have issues with the blood vessels, if you make more collagen, then it would heal that. And secondarily, your heart would be better. So that's the one that they say most people should start with. And then there's other ones. There's one that's specifically for stress and inflammation. That's called Eon. So right now, that's what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the X39 on my back, on my neck, like I showed you, and then I'm wearing the Eon on my foot. The company does tell you different acupuncture points that they recommend, although some people say you can wear it anywhere and it would still work, but the studies were done in those acupressure points. There's another one called X49, which is specifically for athletes or high-performing athletes. Some of Olympians have endorsed it, and they said they used it during the Olympics. And then there is a couple of patches that actually have medicine in it. So we do have a glutathione patch and a carnitine patch, which actually do have something in them, being very anti-inflammatory, and carnitine helping with muscle strength and heart conditions. So, little by little, you will learn if you decide to become, a distributor. And then there's plenty of physicians that are, on board, like myself. And then the company has all kinds of trainings that you can sort of look into it. But they recommend that everybody, the main one and sort of the star, like Jess Nettie said, is the X39, which helps with inflammation and with stem cell activation.
Okay. One last question, I'm sorry.
Sure.
And patients that have cancer, I know they go through a lot of pain and inflammation. Since it works directly with the itself, with the body itself, it wouldn't do any harm, right, if they start using that as well?
It depends. So it should not do any harm. However, if someone is actively going through chemotherapy, so like I said, some of these patches, the way they work is that it actually takes away some of the toxins too. So chemotherapy, that's what it's doing. It's giving you, the medicine, unfortunately, is toxic, that it's killing those bad cells. And so in theory, they have said that if anybody's going through chemotherapy, if you use this, you do run the risk of having the chemotherapy not work, it not be as effective. And so they do not recommend this to use with someone that's going actively through treatment. Although I have heard some people that say, I don't care, I'm going to use it anyway because it's what's getting me through it. Like I'm getting more energy and it's kind of helping me. So some people do use it, but it is not recommended if you're actively being treated. Now, if you're post-treatment, yeah, there should be no contraindications or nothing negative, because essentially you're just stimulating your own stem cells to try to heal whatever is broken in your body. So it actually could be beneficial, although obviously I'm not going to say it cures cancer at all, but it could be beneficial.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Those are great questions. So thank you for being active. So anyway, for the second time, I'm so sorry again that we started a little bit late, but again, we had a Spanish version of this before this that went a little bit longer as far as questions. And we are going to be doing this probably on a weekly basis for a while, since we just started this. And my idea is to try to educate people. This is not a sales tactic. This is not a pressure. You have to do this. these are the facts, and this is what the company does, this is what the product does, and you guys can decide for yourselves what your interests will be. So again, talk to the person that invited you. We are here if you have any other questions, and I hope you guys have a great evening. Bye. Thanks.